Shalom unto the elect of the nation of Israel. First and foremost, before I get into my lesson, I want to start off by giving all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone that teach and that rule well today. And salutation also to the fellow laborers that's in the ministry and the believers that scatter worldwide in all truth and sincerity, day in and day out. Once again, I'm the brother Shaquat Gabar coming at you with another quick lesson. And right before I get into this lesson, this message or these videos goes out to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites according to the Bible, and also to the Israelite foreigners that scattered amongst the heathen nations and that may take on the physical appearance or look of another nation. But if your bloodline goes back to Negro, Latino, or Native American descent by the seed of your father, you are considered an Israelite as well. Shalom. So you can see I had this video queued up on the screen, okay, which is off one of the beloved brothers amongst the ministry, okay. Channel Arrows of Indignation 144, okay. And you can see the title he gave it, Dire Warning from Port of Los Angeles Executive Major shortages are coming, okay. And because due to recently, we know us that's in the faith and those that's newly listening to the Hebrew Israelites, okay, in particular the men of Great Millstone and the brother on down that's out there truly teaching, okay. We know that lately or recently, the current president, Donald Trump, putting tabs on these other countries or all these countries, when he came back in the office, putting tabs on China, Canada, Mexico, okay, and other countries, but the main three, I say, the European countries as well, okay, their own allies when it comes to these tariffs or sanctions, okay, when it comes to the trades, okay, when it comes to goods, okay, and now we're at the point that these tariffs about to take effect, okay. Like I said, when he first came in office, okay, during the time of a little bit after January, okay, now that we're approaching his 100 days in office, Trump has been doing a lot, okay, especially when it comes to cutting certain benefits, aids, okay, government aid, okay, and now these tariffs, okay, that he's putting on these other countries, that's going to affect the economy. Cause a lot of these other countries that's been, they had these tariffs on them, such as China, okay, mainly, is retaliating by the way of not sending their products or their goods over here to America anymore, okay. And mainly everything here in America come by the way of China, okay, or foreign countries, man, okay. At this place, America is known for an import country, okay, when it comes to its economy. So now, due to these tariffs, these countries not sending their merchandise over here by the way of sea, okay, it's gonna be a domino effect when it comes to the ports, okay, when it comes to the trucks, okay, the trucking, okay, the distribution, okay, of goods to your local retail stores, market stores, okay, restaurants, okay, grocery stores, okay. All this about to be an effect in the near future, as now you got experts going into how the economy is on the verge of feeling financial woes, man, okay, due to these tariffs, which is going to lead to inflation, hyperinflation, okay, prices going up, taxes on the prices going up, okay, at the same time, a limit of resources, okay, shortages, man, okay. They already talking about in the near, couple of weeks, and by the mid way of May and throughout June and July, okay, shelves gonna be empty, okay, products gonna be more or less for the consumers, okay. And who's gonna affect it the most? As I say, the consumers, the American people, man, okay. But we know, okay, that's us that's in the, the know in the faith that's following along and paying attention, okay, when it comes to the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, that this is all the will, okay, eventually of Yahweh Shema Shai, okay, by the way of these elites, okay, these central bankers, man, that's in power. Because Trump ain't up but a puppet that's doing their bidding, down to the lesser illuminated ones, man. Okay, when it comes to the government officials, man. Okay, because we know eventually these elites want to bring in an NWO, and by that they want to bring a cashless society. Okay, get rid of the dollar, because we know the key prophecy, Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, is about to be in effect. Okay, when it comes to the implementation of the RFID microchip, which is known as the mark of the beast, man. Okay, and that's going to be the next way of buying and selling. As you can see, everything now is going cashless. Okay, the dollar becoming more obsolete, the devaluing of the dollar. Okay, and now they're moving towards a new system by digital currency. Okay, that's why now you hear all the talks about the the CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. Okay, that's being set up. Universal basic income, Fed now, digital wallet. Okay, real digital ID. Okay, everything moving towards as well surveillance, biometric. Okay, the talks of smart cities. Okay, and once really, as this place about to on the verge of this financial crash, it's going to lead to more civil unrest as well. Okay, uproars of the people. Okay, and that's why now you're seeing Trump pushing more legislations or executive orders funding the police, okay, martial law, okay, the Insurrection Act, okay, etc. Because he knows it's going to be an uproar, okay, but in the midst, when all hell break loose, in the times of more and more this economy is on the verge of crashing, and he already setting the stage when it comes to these elites to bring order out of chaos, man. Okay, so let me go ahead and play this this video. I'm gonna get a couple of scriptures, and that'll be the lesson. And I pray that the lesson is edifying.
Just describe for us, let's take a beat, really frame it for us, how much volume has just dropped off in the last few weeks?
Yeah, about a third of the import volume, which means give or take about 50,000 20-foot equivalent units gone off the arrivals coming in next week.
From next week is when you expect to see this really hit?
That's correct, and that matches up. The announcement's back on April 2nd, then on April 8th, a little bit of a change on everybody ex-China, Mexico, Canada, and those arrivals are coming at us this weekend.
We'll, of course, dedicate time to your port, but I'm just wondering how you're anticipating this rolls and ripples through the economy from here, how it hits trucking, when this turns up on the shelf. What's the distance, the time, from when you see a drop-off in volume and when we, as consumers, see the shortages?
Right, so CEOs are telling me, hit the pause button, right? I'm not going to import anymore at these kind of prices. Let's wait and see. I don't know if it's going to be 2 hours, 2 days, or 2 weeks till I get some clarity. Then hiring off the table for right now. Capital investment, pause. And the retailers are telling me that realistically, with even the 10%, I'm going to have to pass it on to the consumers.
So how much is this really coming from all over? It's not just about China. This is about really...
So you see the chain of reaction, man. Okay, they're going into how, due to these tariffs, they're going to put, pause on certain goods, okay, which is going to lead to, shortages, okay, a limit of resources in the stores, okay, and that's going to affect, they say, mostly the consumers, the American citizens, when it comes to the dollar, okay, more dollar, okay, to be spent on products, okay, that's going to inflate, okay, and then at the same time, people that's working these ports or trucking business, okay, they about to, see their job hours being cut, okay, or to the point layoffs, man, okay, when it comes to certain individuals, okay, that's in the workforce when it comes to the ports, man, okay, and the trucking business, okay, and down to the average American worker, okay, and consumer, okay. So everything is coming to a chain of the reaction, okay, a domino effect, okay, leading to more financial woes, man, okay. And this place ain't gonna get better, man, okay. We at the end of America rule, man, okay, which leads to the end of Esau Edom rulership, okay.
Global trade coming to a standstill until there is a much greater degree of certainty and a much lower tariff rate than even the baseline that's been put out there.
Yeah, when I was last with you all, Lisa, I said global trade's going to slow, economies will follow, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Back in November, so many of us were wringing our hands about 4% inflation. We've just added 10 percentage points to imports coming out of Southeast Asia for our port, and these unbelievable numbers out of China.
How much are you going to see a real decline in dock workers if this goes on?
Yeah, this is the question. So the trucker hauling 4 or 5 containers today, next week, she probably hauls 2 or 3. The dock workers are no longer going to see overtime and double shifts. They're going to probably work less than a traditional work week, starting right off the bat. Every 4 containers mean a job. So when we start dialing this back, it's less job opportunities.
And what happens if we get a deal?
If we get a deal, it's going to take about a month. Let me walk you through that real quick. About 2 weeks to get the ships repositioned around these major ports, from Qingdao to Shanghai to Xiamen, load up all those containers, and then another...
He said it's going to take about a month, okay? So that's in between now and June and July, man. Okay, but this place can't afford, more shortages and layoffs and inflation, okay? Yeah, this place on the verge of a breaking point, man, when it comes to this economy. Like I say, what Trump doing, he's doing the bidding of these elites because they want to bring a cashless society. So everything Trump is doing when it comes to these tariffs is nothing but a self-inflicted wound, okay, self-imploding, okay, when it comes to this place, America, okay. And now these other countries, okay, although they not going to send their goods over here, okay, and they, ready to drop the dollar, such as China, Russia, okay, India, certain South and Central Americans, okay, I'll say Central Americans and South American countries ready to ditch the dollar. But that's going to lead to a global effect to these other countries as well, okay, because right now the dollar, even though it's devaluing, okay, is still the stronghold of the world economy, okay. That's why when these elites bring a cashless society, it's not only going to be affected here, okay, or they want to bring it here to America, but worldwide, man, okay. Because once the dollar go, okay, all these economies is going to go, okay. Like I said, it's going to be a domino effect, okay. And mainly these people here in America are going to feel it the most, man, okay, because this place known for its wealth, its manufacturing, its imports, okay, its goods from other countries, man. And these other countries have also benefit, okay.
Weeks to steam across the Pacific to get to us. This is important because now we're talking about spring and summer fashion. So we're kind of at a crux here that we've got to have something pretty quick.
And back to school, which is,
right,
I think, very critical when it comes to political pushback for this administration. We have a story out, it was anecdotal reporting as well. We've heard about China quietly starting to exempt about a quarter of U.S. imports. Are any U.S. importers exempting Chinese tariffs? Is there a way to get around the 145%?
Not really. There may be some exceptions, Anne-Marie, maybe a little bit going north or south of us, but realistically speaking, nobody is out there talking a lot about, hey, I got a better deal coming out of China right now.
The Flexport CEO joined us earlier in the week, and he said ocean freight is down 60% from China. When do we see 100%?
Good question. It depends on how long this goes. We heard the reports overnight through Bloomberg that the folks in China are thinking about talking. What does that mean? Okay, great, but we've got to get a move on here. The other thing is that retailers are saying we've got about 5 to 7 weeks of normal inventory in the country right now. Then we start to see spot shortages if it goes on much beyond this.
And it ain't even gonna matter because since now Trump being in the role here in America, as the president, but he's taking the role now of being a dictator, okay, and being in this having the mind frame of being a tyrant. Okay, hey man, these more and more of these countries, cause now these other countries such as China, okay, their economy is kind of well off, man. Okay, and all these countries now they doing business amongst each other. Okay, and leaving America out, and you got Trump pushing the issue. Okay, so how I look at more and more, this place is on the verge of its collapse, man. Okay, we know what happened in 2020, where everything came to a halt. Okay, and ever since 5 years ago, now 2025, but early what when it came to the year of 2023 and 2024, we already knew that certain due to the effect of 2020 with the whole CV. Okay, a lot of stores closed down. Okay, a lot of moms and pop stores. Okay, a lot of retail stores. Okay, certain marketplaces, businesses. Okay, a lot of these warehouses. Okay, was holding their last resources. Okay, during those times. Okay, and during those times, a lot of the ports was shut down. Okay, the harbor shut down. Okay, then you had food process facilities mysteriously being burnt or being destroyed, cattle's being destroyed, euthanized, certain dairy products, okay, being destroyed, okay, because you also have too, okay, the warning of the farming business, okay. A lot of these farmers don't have the production as as recently, okay, which we know a lot of these these when it comes to these elites, they're taking over, such as your boy Billy G, okay, or B Gates, I say it like that, okay, destroying the farmer industry, okay. So you got farmers out there saying how they farmer business is being corrupt and coming to a halt, or just coming to an end at it is, okay. So that's leading to more food crisis, man, which also have to be shipped to the local grocery stores or marketplaces, man. Okay, like I said, in the trucking business, okay, truckers going on strike, okay, or truckers quitting, okay, or getting laid off, okay. And we always say, when it comes to the grocery stores, they only have a 3 days limited, okay, a full stocking, okay. When it comes to the grocery stores, man, okay. So there's no trucks coming in within 3 days or a week or 2 or 3, okay, that's leading to more food shortages, man, okay, or products short, a lot of products being certain products shortage, okay. Now let me go ahead and get into the scriptures, because like I said, eventually, man, we coming to the point of this place downfall, man, okay. These elites got their agenda to crash this place, man, which is ultimately going to lead to more civil unrest, uproars of the people, okay, and these trade wars, okay, between these nations in America is going to lead into eventually a physical war, as we are already on the verge of the Third World War, which is prophecy, because there is going to be a Third World War, and ultimately at the end of it, this place America is going to be destroyed, man, by the way of thermonuclear fire, okay, at the peak of the Third World War, which also going to lead to the time of who the world called Christ, Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, second coming, by the way of the chariots, okay, what the world called UFOs, man, the hosts of angels, man, or the vehicles of the angels, what the world called UFOs, the chariots, man. And that's going to be when Yahweh Shai return, he's going to fight against these nations' armies and militaries, okay, to take Esau, Edom, start with them out of power, man, okay, and destroy their beloved America, okay, and these heathen nations, military, man, at that time, okay, and the Lord also only going to deliver the elect at that time when it comes to the salvation of Israel, okay, which we're considered the 144,000 and the 1/3 that's destined to be saved. That's the number that we're striving to be part of, okay. Yeah, because 2/3 of so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, they're gonna be cut off and judged. Okay, as we're approaching the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, the Lord judging our people now, but definitely mostly in the time of Jacob's trouble, in the midst of it, and at the end of it, 2/3 of our people gonna be judged, man. Okay, especially those of our people that take that RFID micro. Okay, yeah, according to Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. Okay, those that take it, okay, they're gonna be destroyed by the way of the missiles. Okay, and the fire that's gonna come from the chariots, man. That's why when it comes to the men of great millstone and the brother on down, we always get that stern warning not to take that RFID micro. Okay, once it's implemented, because we're coming to those times. Once it's implemented, okay, those that take it, they fate, okay, that the Lord reserved them, they're gonna be destroyed by the way of missiles. Okay, by fire, man. Okay, but now we're at the point in time that this place is about to face this financial crash, man. Okay, as these elites, okay, and those that's in power, that's doing their bidding, ready to bring in a cashless society. Okay, let me start off with Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 10. And it says, "It shall come to pass in that day, say the Lord, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate, and the howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills." Okay, that's going into this economy in this time. Okay, and it says the noise of a cry from the fish gate going into these ports, okay, or the harbor. Okay, due to, like I said, America known for an import country. Okay, and start with China and other countries, they send their goods over here to America by the way of mainly by the way of sea. Okay, they do it by air as well, okay, but mainly by the sea. Okay, but even both air or sea, due to these tariffs, okay, a lot of these countries not going to send their goods over here or their merchandise. Okay, and like I said, most of the merchandise, okay, are products that manufacture that American workers work. Okay, also the American workers, consumers, okay, buy those same products, man. Okay, so it's gonna be a lose-lose situation, man. Okay, these tariffs gonna take more of effect in these countries. Okay, not um uh, uh important. Okay, their goods over here. Okay, and it says that there should be a noise of a cry from the fish gate, and the howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills. Yeah, they're going into the financial crashes, man. Okay, you see the stock market, the stock market. Okay, the stock market, Salaki, the stock market, plummeting. Okay, falling. Okay, and so that's going to more of this economy crashing, man. Okay, it says, "How ye inhabitants of Matash, for all the merchant people are cut down, and all they that bear silver are cut off." And Matash was an ancient city, which was known for its finance, okay, or its money system, okay. So eventually Matash fall, okay, but you can compare America to Matash, okay, when it comes to this dollar, okay, which the dollar ain't nothing but debt, okay, Federal Reserve notes, okay, or IOU notes, okay, because this dollar, okay, when it comes to this debt system, is owned to these elites. When it comes to these central bankers, man, in America is already trillions of dollars, as they say, 200. When you look at the debt clock, always going up. Okay, especially now these tariffs are hitting. Okay, but now they're saying that America is on $200 trillion in debt. Okay, like I said, and counting, man. Okay, so this place eventually, once the more and more inflation and hyperinflation take place due to the debt, it's gonna break. It's gonna crash, man. Okay, you got banks foreclosing. Okay, banks freezing certain accounts. Okay, when it comes to these American citizens. Okay, people going on bank runs. Okay, yeah, so more and more leading to this place financial crash, man. Okay, so we at that. So we at that point in time. Let me get this. Let me see. Okay, going to the, he went into, how these tariffs going to take effect. Okay, and ain't gonna be no merchandise being delivered to certain stores, man. Okay, or marketplaces or businesses. Okay, but this is Second Esdras chapter 6, verse 23. And the trumpet, Second Esdras chapter 6, verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Okay, should be found empty. Okay, going into these shortages, man. Here in these times, man. The sown places will be your local stores, man. Okay, or your marketplaces. Okay. And so now that they talking about, giving these warnings of the coming with more shortages. Okay, empty shelves when it comes to the stores. You already got certain stores, like I say, experiencing it. Okay, you already got certain stores that file for bankruptcy and foreclose. Okay, so how much more in the coming months? Okay, like I said, all of it orchestrated, man. Okay, because these elites want to bring a cashless society, and it ain't like this place don't have any type of resources. Okay, but they coming to the point that they want total control. Okay, and want to bring a rational, system. Okay, and that's all going to tie into that MOTB. Okay, those that have the MOTB have more access, okay, to more goods. Okay, but those that don't have it, okay, they will have to, they survive to get it, the certain resources. Okay, that's where you're going to have bargains, the bargain system, more trades, amongst, the American citizens without the dollar. Okay, when it comes to certain goods. Okay, but it's to the point when it comes to a rational system. Okay, they want the people to depend on them. Okay, especially when this place or the society in a chaotic state, man. Okay, and it says, suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, and the trumpet shall give a sound which when every man hear, they shall be suddenly afraid. Okay, and that's the alarm. Okay, yeah, it's just starting with the prophets. So Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay, we constantly giving that warning, man, of the coming of a financial crash, leading to this place destruction. Okay, ultimately, okay, leading to the time ultimately when Yahweh Shai return, man, to redeem the elect of the nation of Israel. Okay, and bring the downfall of Esau, Edom, and these heathens. Okay, because Yahweh Shai is coming back to establish the kingdom of Israel. And these heathen nations, starting with the elites of Esau, Edom, okay, they're going to go into captivity, okay? And they're going to have to build our kingdom. And that's when it's going to be a real new world order, man, okay, in righteousness, okay, under the rule of Yahweh Shema Shai, and us being the Lord chosen people, the nation of Israel, man, okay, starting with the elect. And it says, verse 24, and at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. Hey, so that's the times we're going to be. Like I say, we're going to be in, okay, or coming into. Okay, survival of the fittest. Okay, and people going to be fighting against each other, man, due to the lack of bread, the lack of food. Okay, the lack of resources. Okay, water. Okay, power outages. Okay, clothing, shelter, okay, poverty, okay, and at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. Hey, when it comes to the time of martial law, okay, when it comes to certain travel bans, curfews, barricades, okay, troops patrolling the streets, okay, and people don't have access, to move like how they want to, okay, as now, okay, because this place is known for it coming to his cars and, traveling, people, getting up to go to work, okay, or going to the stores to, to get, the necessary things, okay, but all that's going to come to a halt, and it's going to be a limit. And when it comes to these smart cities, okay, when it comes to certain smart cities that they already setting up, and those are going to be the main resources, okay, to get goods, okay, in order for you to enter those smart cities, you're going to have that RFID micro, okay, or surveillance or biometric, okay, which ties into that RFID micro, okay, because all those smart cities going to be occupied by the, technology, AI, okay, carbon footprint, carbon tax, a social credit based system, and all that's going to tie into that RFID micro, okay, in the form of a digital currency. They're able to have access, okay, and if you don't have that, you're going to be off the grid, man, okay. That's going to lead to more people who will have to, get it how they live in that time, man, okay, putting themselves in diverse situations, man, okay. But when it comes to us or the hopeful elect, Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to be the covering, okay, of his elect, okay. Because the elect is not going to take the MOTB, okay. The elect is going to wholeheartedly believe in Yahweh Shemel Shai, and therefore Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to be with the elect in those times, man, okay. And that's the number that we're striving to be part of, man. Because the Lord says servants or his elect eventually, okay, starting with the service, going to eat, going to drink, okay, going to be taken care of, man, going to be covered, okay, through those trials and tribulations, okay. And it says, and at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. The earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Okay, going to the system. Okay, the water system. Like I said, everything here in America is moved by the grid, electronically. Okay, so more possibly, which eventually, blackouts, EMPs, attacks, cyber attacks. Okay, they're leading to more and more of financial crashes when it comes to these banks. Okay, or banks foreclosing. Okay, or systems being hacked. All type of madness, man. That Esau Edom is doing directly. Okay, and orchestrating it, man. Okay, to bring order out of chaos once again, man. Okay, like I say, this whole system when it comes to the food rational shortages. Okay, stores closing. Okay, and it says verse 25, whosoever remaineth from all these things that I had told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world. And that's going to the elect eventually. Okay, that's going to remain and be delivered. Okay, that's going to trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Because like I say, 2/3 of our people, they're going to be judged, man. Okay, and they're going to put their trust in Esau Edom to the point. Okay, when it comes to the MOTB, they'll take it. They're going to take it and be destroyed. Okay, and some of our people that, know, okay, not to trust the system, and they're going to take matters in their own hand. Okay, and not trusting Yahweh Shem Yahushai when it comes to the 2/3. Okay, and they're going to be judged, man. Okay, a lot of people are going to be judged by the way of famine. Matter of fact, let me get this. Pestilence, civil unrest, race wars, the Third World War. Okay. Let me get on. Let me get this. 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. And the word woe means destruction. Okay, and we come into the beginning of sorrows, of the great destruction. Okay, especially when it comes to this place, America. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. The beginning of famine and great death. The beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? And that's, ultimately, that's Esdras. Okay, but we had the mind frame, okay, the trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, okay. But Esdras was giving us a foresight what's to come today, okay, how bad it's going to be, okay, in the times that we enter into now, okay, because Esdras seen himself here today, okay, which is reincarnation, okay, but eventually the Lord going to deliver his elect, okay, verse 19, but he just give you a description when it comes to the scriptures how bad it's going to be. And it says, behold, famine, plague, tribulation, and anguish are sent as scourges Fourth Amendment. And that's what we're starting to see now, man, these plagues, okay, that's hitting this place America, okay, and is as scourges for the amendment, okay, especially when it comes to the wickedness of our people, okay, or you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, and the Lord bringing scourges, okay, in the form of these plagues to these heathen nations as well, starting with even Esau, Edom, okay, these average American Edomites, okay, that's feeling it now, okay. I've seen a video that a brother posted up. You had some Edomites, I guess, doing a bonfire. Okay, you had one Edomite took the American flag and threw it in the fire, and all of them saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, because they see their country is going down, man. Okay, they about to feel the effect of these tariffs, man. Okay, and it says, and that's why it's going to lead to more civil unrest. Okay, or clash wars, man. Okay, and it says, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Yeah, especially this place, America. Even all the sorrows, and this place about to go into a chaotic state, which is already messed up. Okay, trying to be PC. Okay, yeah, but wait till all hell break loose, man. Okay, but now these people, all the wickedness that these people uphold here in America, and even though the Lord had the prophets out there telling them, okay, the foretelling that this place is on the verge of its destruction, and mainly our people, man, they don't want to take heed, man. Okay, they don't want to repent and come back and acknowledge Yahweh Shem Yahushai and their true heritage as being Israel and the prophets and the prophecies, man. Okay, in the times that we're about to approach, the appointed time of Jacob's trouble, man. Okay, so in the midst of they doing their wickedness, the Lord already setting up the plagues, okay, and bringing judgment, but they're going to intensify more. Okay, verse 21. Behold, virtuous shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. Yeah, the virtues represent goods. So not now, right now prices are still reasonable, even though inflation taking place, things going up, about $1 or a cent. Okay, but wait, the hyperinflation kick in. Okay. Then, these inflations go up to its maximum, to the point that it's going to be unaffordable as the dollar more and more the value. Okay, so at now they think themselves to be in a good case when it comes to our people and the average American citizen. Okay, like I said, we know we're in the spring, the summer, coming in the summer, where mainly these tariffs, the effect of these tariffs about to take place. But your average American, okay, they're in the mind frame of mirth, okay, partying, mirth, in the mind frame of graduation, vacation, family reunion, cruises, okay, to be entertained, when it comes to the sports, the movies, the music, okay. And we see these things about to take place, okay. And cause we stay here in America ourselves, okay. So when it comes to the hopeful elect, we seeing things happening, okay. Yeah, we watch, sports and, certain things, entertainment, travel here and there. Okay. You have to get up to work. Okay. But we know this ain't the end all, the be all, man. Okay. And we preparing ourselves for the time of Jacob trouble. Okay. And be praying to Yahweh Shem Yahushua that we found, as we in this grace period, to be found worthy, to be covered and to be delivered, man. Okay. As the scripture says, Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6, for wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy time, man. Okay. When all hell break loose, man. Okay. And that's when the Lord gonna definitely show, okay, that he's with his men. Okay. And when it comes to the elect, and also, the women and, the children of the elect, that Lord gonna have that covering upon. Okay. And you're gonna have certain men, women, and children. Okay, I'll start with the men, to be that's gonna be martyrs, that's gonna die in the faith. Okay, but they're gonna be the first ones risen up when Yahweh shall return to gather the rest of the elect that's gonna remain for salvation. Okay, let me continue on, and it says, behold, virtues shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in a good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So that's the time we're coming into. The Lord bringing plagues, man. Okay, by the way of famine, hunger, okay, pestilence, natural disasters, okay, martial law, okay, civil unrest, okay, race wars, a teeth of wild beasts, etc., man. Yahweh Shema shall bring a judgment upon this place, man. Okay, and that main sword, which the word sword means, a destruction or a killing instrument, that main sword is going to be those thermonuclear missiles that's going to desolate this place, man. Okay, like I said, especially the ones of our people, okay, that take that MOTB, and when Yahweh shall return, okay, in the midst of Yahweh shall second coming, okay, those missiles are going to be launched and destroy this place, America. And the ones of our people that take it, they're going to be destroyed right along with them, man. Okay, with this place, man. Okay, but Yahweh Shah is only going to deliver the elect. Okay, so this is the time now. Okay, before all hell break loose. Okay, to seek Yahweh Shah while he may be found, man. Okay, because soon the Lord going to remove his prophets off the highways and byways and his word off the internet. Okay, and he's already gearing up to do that through censorship, man. But that's all the purpose of the Lord, man. When it comes to Amos 8 and 11. Okay, well, let me get this and I'll get ready to close. So this is the time now. Okay, to seek the Lord while he may be found. Okay, Isaiah chapter 55 verse 6. Okay, but I'll end off with this. This is Romans chapter 13 verse 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than what we believe. So the salvation of the elect is nearer than what we believe. And us that's in the faith, okay, of the hopeful elect, and we're paying attention to the signs, man. Okay, measuring the times. Okay, leading to Yahweh Shai's second coming. Okay, to bring salvation. Okay, and leading to this place destruction, man. And the downfall of Esau, Edom, these heathens, and the 2/3 of our people, man. Okay, so those that are people that's, come across the Hebrew Israelites, at this the time now. Okay, but we know lately a lot of our people that see these videos, okay, they scoff, they scorn, they make mockery, but that's okay. Okay, because their fate going to be sealed to be destroyed, man. Okay, because his word is only for the elect. Okay, and eventually once the elect is sealed, which we've come into that time, okay, and that's it, man. Okay, but us that's in the faith, we striving to be part of the hopeful elect, because we see through prophecy where it's going, man. Okay, and so for the brothers and sisters out there, they keep fighting, keep pushing. Okay, keep enduring. Okay, especially starting with the men that's out there. Okay, yeah, because we're at that point in time of Yahweh Bashmal Shai, about to bring destruction, but also about to bring salvation. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and end the lesson here, and I pray that the lesson will edify. Till next time, Lord willing, shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.